This is a clip from the Dark Star Rising podcasting show. To check out the full show, go to rumble.com/darkstarrising or check out the podcast on any podcast network. It is available. Use things like those tons of graphs that are just turned upside down or two studies melted together. It's a bunch of non-science basically that is used to support this long con. But so the only thing you can really do to help these type of people out is just simply to tell the truth. Do not budge. Do not give in to their whims. So like if you go out of your way to accommodate their insanity, that's a disservice to yourself, your own family, your own life, and also a disservice to them. You've got to be the one with your feet on the ground telling the truth always, and just yeah, but I'm not going to vote that way, or I'm not going to, I'm not going to give you my money. It's like, for fuck's sake. You don't realize you're in a scam, but you are in a scam, and maybe someday you'll wake up and thank me. Probably not, because of human arrogance. Human arrogance is basically no one will ever admit that they were wrong, and only strangers can convince you. And that's the way it works, because if they know you personally, you can never convince them. You can never convert them. You can never wake them up. Never. It's always a stranger. And I think the best way to explain this is, I think what Jesus said was a prophet will never be respected in his hometown. And it's basically if human beings have such an arrogance that the people they know, I could never learn anything from my friends or my family. Oh, but this guy's making some sense in line. This random guy on this podcast or this video or some forum, because that way you're finding it on your own, and it can be your thing as opposed to be somebody else's that putting it into your brain. And so you've got to, obviously, if you give them something to watch or something to listen to, and if you're telling them it'll help convince them, then they won't do it. Okay? And if you give them stuff and they don't like two of the stuff that you give them, they'll just turn your input off. Like I used to give emails and stuff to people to try to wake people up, and videos and movies, podcasts, and so much more, and surveys and facts and truth. And it didn't take very long for people to just be like, all right, turn off that one. Because one of those inputs, one of those videos may be offended, or maybe one of those videos was just confronting that demon in their mind, the god, the false god that they believed in, they worshipped. And so, no, turn that whole faucet off. So instead of, like, hey, and, titles are always horrible and ruin it right off the bat. So they'll see the title that is meant for them, for you, right? And not for them. And that will ruin the whole thing. And people are lazy and they probably won't want to watch the videos or share them anyways. So the best thing to do is share this podcast, but don't do it in a political or ideological way. Other podcasts too. And it might not work because, like I said, you only got really one chance, maybe a few chances before they turn off your entire, all your suggestions, right? But if you do it in a way that's apolitical and the thumbnail isn't like, they might start listening, but as soon as they hear something that contradicts their gods, they will turn it off. Okay? Because you shared it to them. They know you. That's the problem. If a rando has it on his website and they find that website and they find that person of their own accord and they already like that rando, they are open to it. Now, some people might, and it's still worth sharing, okay? I'm not trying to shoot myself in my face, okay? It's still worth sharing podcasts and videos to people who are open, okay? Some people might actually be willing. But generally speaking, how that works is people whose mindsets are already that way. If their mindsets are already open to the knowledge of the long con, then they're going to accept the data better, If their minds are already closed, we have to be more sneaky and more soft and more gentle and show clips or just not show anything and just hope that they'll find it on their own, because people will react. So share this with other people you might think are similar-minded, or other people who are aware of the con, or other people who are willing to admit that there are cons. Don't share this with people, I suppose, who are screeching feminists. I mean, you can if you want, but you're not going to have much success doing that. Share it with people who can wake up. Don't share it with people can never wake up. Is basically what I'm saying. But basically, there's so much deeper. This con goes so far and so deep. It just like the Marxist indoctrination of the past 200 years, you know, the Hegel ideology that spawned into Marxism and then from there evolved into postmodernism, and all of it is now colloquially called woke. Just like that, this is a significant part of the same for infrastructure, because it's like a barnacle that grows on the side of wokeism. It is very left wing. It's very lefty righty when it comes. I mean, there's plenty of people on the right who are part of the scam. Elon Musk pretends to be on the right and on the left simultaneously, and he's the biggest proponent of the scam that has ever existed. And you've got so many more people, right, who even on the right, who believe in this scam. Okay, so it's not specifically just on the left. It's not specifically just a woke scam, but people who are very susceptible to a cult and to the cult of wokeism will typically latch on to this scam real quick. And veganism itself is just another religion, not a diet. There's like 2 people maybe who use it as a diet. Everybody else is just, well, I didn't eat vegan today, but I am a vegan. You know, like the religion of veganism that cows are killing the environment, or the animals have faces so we can't eat them. Well, plants are alive. You fucking murderer! You murder plants every day, and I'm being serious. You're fucking nincompoop. What's more valuable about plant life than cow life? What is more valuable about cow life than plant? They're just animals. Plants are animals too. Plants dance. They do. They dance to music. Look it up. Plants grow differently. They talk back. They communicate with each other in subtle ways, and you can talk to them. And if you do, and you give them oxygen, carbon dioxide, they grow better. Plants are as legitimate a form of life as insects, in my opinion, and insects are pretty close to freaking mammals, and you're complaining about mammals being eaten. Like, you fucking murder plants. You decapitate and mutilate plants so that you can survive. There's no reality in which organic human beings, at like this date period, like organic human beings, don't have to consume other organic human beings or other organic creatures to survive. There has to be death for the life. And yes, you could maybe grow it artificially and get microbiological creatures to be consumed. But these microbiological creatures are still alive. Even if you clone the cows, which, by the way, we were all eating clone beef. If you didn't know that, look that up. It's true. We are all eating cloned beef at some point in time or other. Well, let's say they create the artificial meat that everybody wants and tastes just like meat, but it's not, and it's unhealthy because it's not fucking meat, and it's just soy crap. Soy, by the way, is a natural estrogen, so if you have a penis, understand that the term soy boy beta cuck is actually true. It's actually literal. Soy is an estrogen. Plastic is an estrogen. If you drink a lot of bottled water, which I sadly do, my body's consuming all this plastic estrogen, and just a little bit, but plenty of it adds up. Thankfully, I don't microwave with plastic containers anymore, because once again, plastic's an estrogen and soy is an estrogen, and I don't eat soy. I stay the fuck away from soy, okay? Because I'm already 1/3 of the way to becoming a soy boy beta cuck, okay? So, like, if I eat microwave plastic food and also eat soy, I'm just gonna be like, cut off my dick, and I don't want that. You know, I have a male body, so I want to continue on functioning with that male body naturally and organically. And so when you eat these fake meats, you're still consuming something and required to kill something. Somebody had to kill something for you. It's just another form of life. And plants are just as valuable, just as good, and just as beautiful life as any organic animal would be. And I think that sums it up pretty well. It's like a, well, what was the fake meat that it's like kale is from the ocean. Okay, so let's say they culture microbiology, fucking parasites, you know, those germs, whatever they're called, you know, the tiny little microbiological creatures, right, that are germs. What are they called? Bacteria. Okay. Well, that's alive still. So even if you grow your burger out of a bacteria cell, there's still creatures. All organic matter, and if it's dead organic matter, it's usually not that good. Let's like we find a mammoth, try to eat it. Good luck. It's like, for the most part, you will always have to consume something, and it's going to have to either be mutilated or killed for your consumption. Okay? And so the reality is veganism is another postmodern religion. Okay? And it's not as much a con, but just kind of more of a religion that supports the long con called climate change. And I hope I don't have a lot of fucking time right now. We're wrapping this up. Do your own research. And for those of you who are triggered by that phrase because you're used to hearing it or something, or because you're stupid, human beings, individuals, regular people can be their own experts. Now, no human being can be an expert on everything. However, what do you think an expert is? It's just someone who cares enough to look at all the data that they can find and figure out the truth for themselves. However, we have a problem with our current experts, the establishment experts, these woke postmodern nincompoops who propagate scams, and they profit from these scams. And we've gotten to the point where many of us don't trust them anymore because they profited off of the same scam in 2020 that Elon Musk did, got $142 billion, Covfefe. Okay? So that's a whole nother video. But I have to wrap this up, and I thank you for spending some time with you. If you disagree with me, let me know at rumble.com/darkstarrising, where I have the podcast. I'm still promoting my books. Go over to lulu.com/search and check out that book called Big Mr. T. Also on payhip.com/stickaverse. That's payhip.com/stickaverse. One word. And that's where the digital is. If you like this show, the podcast, but you disagree with me, that's great. Because you can send a comment to the Rumble or check out minds.com/JARV official. That's underscore in between the two words. That's the social that I post on. Also JARV News official underscores. And I have a website which will be linked here to this podcast or video. There is so much wealth of information. If you are willing to do your own research, I believe that you will find the truth. And that's all we have time for. Thanks for checking out the Dark Star Rising podcast and show. We are on Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, and we have special episodes for exclusive members. If you go to redcircle.com, the link will be in the description. You can sign up for a membership, which is $4 a week or $8 a month or $58 a year. And then there's special episodes, which are like short usually, but there's just like several in a week. And each one is like special and different. And sometimes it's just something I made on somewhere else and I put into audio format. It's something cool, like a trailer or something. So special, a game. I do some game playing sometimes. And I have them on audio in the red circle. And basically, maybe I have a few ads in here, but I'm basically self-funded. And if you want to help us out, help this podcast, there's the website. You can go to Rumble where I have some donations, or you could buy that subscription on Red Circle. I might do some live on Rumble someday, but for now, thanks for checking out the Dark Star Rising podcast and show. Have a good day, and don't be fooled.
Thank you for checking out this clip of the Dark Star Rising podcast and show. Now rub my belly, filthy you man.